Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we like to, well, dive deep into some fascinating topics. We've got a ton of great stuff you guys sent in about some really amazing AI projects, ones that are really focused on making a real impact.
Yeah, it's always great to see how people are using AI to actually help people. We've got some really interesting ones for you today.
Okay, so let's get to it. We're going to be looking at projects that are changing online shopping, video generation, and even building AI agents.
And we'll make sure to explain how it all works
Hmm,
and talk about the potential impact so you can really understand why these are such big deals.
sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay, first up, let's talk about something that's probably a part of everyone's lives. Online shopping. Scrolling through pages and pages of stuff, trying to find the one thing you want. Remember that.
Oh, yeah, the endless search. Well, Perplexity AI is trying to fix that with this new feature called Buy with Pro.
And this is where it gets really cool. Perplexity is using AI to make shopping more intuitive. Instead of using filters and stuff, you can just search for products, just like you'd ask a friend for a recommendation.
Exactly. Like, say you want a warm winter coat. For like hiking, Perplexity would just show you coats that actually fit that.
And there's even more. They've got this feature, Snap to Shop, where you can just take a picture of something you like. Like, say you see someone wearing a cool jacket. You take a picture, and Perplexity finds it online.
It's like having your own personal shopping assistant, and it just works seamlessly with sites like Shopify. So like the whole experience is just smooth. Find it, click, buy. No more getting lost in all the pages of a website.
Yeah, this could be a game changer for people who maybe have trouble with online shopping, or honestly, anyone who just wants to shop faster.
Absolutely. Oh, and Perplexity also has this merchant program. It's like a way for businesses to get recommendations based on data. It's going to be huge because now they can like really understand what people are looking for and personalize what they sell.
So everyone wins. Shoppers get exactly what they want, and businesses get more sales.
Right. And there's even rumors that Stripe, the payment company, might be getting involved with their new Agent SDK. We don't know all the details yet, but it just makes this whole thing even more interesting.
Okay, let's move on from shopping to video generation. This is an area that's just exploding right now.
Yeah, tons of new stuff coming out all the time. One we're really excited about is CogVideoXWrapper. They just released a big update, making it way faster.
A huge update. They've cleaned up all the code, made the pipelines better, and even added something called torchao quantizations.
Torchao quantizations sounds complicated, but all it means is the software runs faster now, so you can create videos much faster.
That's great, but there's a catch, right?
Well, yeah, there's some breaking changes. So if you were using CogVideoXWrapper before, some stuff might not work the same. They've gotten rid of some things, moved other things around, all to make it faster.
So it's like you got a faster car, but you need to learn how to drive it again.
Exactly. But don't worry, they have the old version still if you need it.
Okay, now, if you like things simple, TXT 8.0 is, well, it's perfect. It's all about making it super easy to build these AI agents.
And before we go any further, let's explain what these AI agents are. Just think of them as little computer programs that can make decisions, use tools, and plan stuff, like a super virtual assistant.
And TXT 8.0 is like the toolkit for building them. It works great with transformers agents and a bunch of different large language models, or LLMs, which are like the brains of these agents.
So you can use any LLM you want and a bunch of different tools. It's really flexible.
And that means you can use it for tons of stuff, automating tasks, recommendations, problem solving, anything.
And the best part, it's designed to be easy. You don't need to be a coding expert. They even have an example on Colab so you can see how it works.
Okay, moving on to AgentInstruct. This one's all about creating data to train AI models to be even better.
And AI models need a ton of data. So AgentInstruct solves that. It generates a ton of these prompt response pairs to help these AI models learn. Like, imagine a data factory.
And it really works. They used it to create this data set with like 25 million of these pairs, and then they used that to train the Orca 3 model.
And the results were amazing. Orca 3 got like 40% better on this benchmark called AGIEval. It's a really big deal, shows how important data is.
So AgentInstruct is like giving these AI models the energy they need to learn.
Yeah, and that's going to change how AI is developed. We're going to get models that are way better at understanding and responding to like how we talk.
Okay, last one for this part. We're going to talk about this project called LVO1. It's tackling a really hard problem in AI, reasoning.
And LAAO, it's specifically about making these vision language models better at reasoning.
So instead of just like recognizing a cat or a tree in a picture, LVO1 helps AI understand how those things relate to each other, like seeing the whole picture, not just the pieces.
Right, like imagine an AI that sees a dog and a ball. Elevate01 helps it understand that the dog is about to catch the ball based on, how it's standing and stuff.
That's really cool. So AI is starting to think more like us, not just see.
Yeah, and they even created a whole data set, Elevate01 100K, for people to use to research this.
This is going to be huge for all kinds of things. Self-driving cars, helping people who can't see well. The possibilities are endless.
It's exciting to see how AI is getting better at understanding the world around us. It really is amazing to see, AI going beyond just recognizing stuff in pictures. It's getting much better at understanding, like, the whole scene, and that's going to open up all kinds of new things we can do with it.
And it's great that all these projects are really focused on making things better. We're seeing this big shift towards AI that actually helps people.
Definitely. There's a ton of people out there trying to use AI to fix some of the big problems we face. It's not just about cool tech anymore.
And speaking of people, let's see what everyone's talking about online. What are some of the big trends in the AI community right now?
Well, one thing that's really noticeable is all the excitement about new models coming out. And everyone wants to know, like, how good they are.
Oh yeah, everyone's comparing the latest stuff from Mistral, Cerebras, Google, trying to figure out which one's the best.
Right. Like Cerebras just put out this thing. It's an inference endpoint for their Llama 3.1405B model. And they're saying it's super fast, like 969 tokens per second.
Wow, that's fast. And it has a massive context window, 128K, so it can handle a ton of information. What could we use that for?
Well, anything where speed is important, financial modeling, real-time decision-making, stuff like that.
That's incredible. And then there's Mistral's Pixtral Large, 124 billion parameters.
That's a lot. Yeah, everyone's talking about how good it is at making images. And it's on Hugging Face now, so like anyone can use it.
And it's great that people are thinking about how to use these powerful models responsibly. It's not just about building cool stuff anymore.
Absolutely. People are really discussing things like bias in AI and how to make sure it doesn't harm anyone. It's good to see that being a big part of the conversation.
Another thing we're seeing is this push for open source AI, trying to make it so anyone can use these tools.
Yeah, tools like TXTie 8.0 and CogVideoXWrapper are great examples. They're showing that amazing things can happen when everyone can contribute.
And that creates this sense of community, people from all over working together to make AI better.
Exactly. People are sharing ideas, working on projects together, really pushing the limits. It's inspiring to see.
But all this cool stuff comes with, challenges, like actually using these models in the real world.
Right. Things like optimizing them, making sure they run efficiently, making them user-friendly. It's not enough to just build a model. It has to actually work for people.
Yeah, like there's been some discussion about using these LLMs in games. They're great at creativity and generating text, but like the rules of a game are very specific, and that can be hard for them.
It shows that we need to make sure these AI systems are predictable, especially when they're working with humans.
Makes sense. And we need better tools to actually build these AI agents. As they get more complex, we need better ways to manage them.
AgentInstruct is a good start, but there's still a lot of work to do. People are always looking for ways to make these agents more efficient and easier to use.
And there's a ton of excitement about using AI for social good. Healthcare, education, sustainability, you name it.
People are using AI to improve medical diagnoses, make education more personalized, even track environmental changes. The potential is huge.
It's like we're entering this new era where AI is about helping people, not just automating stuff.
But we can't forget that AI is just a tool. It can be used for good or bad, and we need to make sure we're using it responsibly.
We need to talk about the risks, make rules, and work together to make sure AI is being developed ethically.
It's a responsibility we all share. We need to stay informed and involved.
Definitely. And that's what we're doing here on The Deep Dive, keeping you up to date on everything that's happening in the AI world. And the future is looking really bright.
So before we move on, I want to talk about something else that's been getting a lot of attention. Synthetic data.
Synthetic data. What's that?
It's basically like fake data, but made to be really similar to real data. It's super useful for training AI models, especially when real data is hard to get or, there's privacy concerns.
So instead of using real data, which can be messy, you can make perfect data to train these models.
Right. And people are getting really good at making this synthetic data, using it for all kinds of stuff.
Like what?
Well, like for self-driving cars, you can make simulations of different driving conditions so the AI can learn how to drive safely.
That makes sense. And in healthcare, you could use it to make data that's like realistic but doesn't have any personal info.
Exactly. So synthetic data is opening up all kinds of new possibilities for AI. It's like creating a whole new world of information to help AI grow.
That's really cool. Okay, so let's get back to what people are talking about online. Where are these new ideas coming from?
One place that's really popular is OpenRouter. It's like this marketplace where developers can find all kinds of AI models from different companies.
So it's a place to try out different models, see which one's best for your project.
Yeah. And people on OpenRouter are talking about like the pros and cons of each model, sharing tips and stuff. It's a great place to keep up with what's new.
I saw some people talking about the new streaming capabilities of OpenAI's model O1 Preview and O1 Mini. Now they can generate stuff in real time.
Yeah, that's going to change how we use AI. Think about chatbots that can respond instantly or like stories that are written as you read them. Real-time AI is going to be huge.
But there are always some bumps in the road.
Hmm.
I saw some reports of problems with some models on OpenRouter.
Right, like some issues with Google's Gemini models and some Mistral models getting stuck in loops, but that's how we fix things. People find problems and we work together to make things better.
It shows how important it is for these companies to be open about what their models can and can't do. Transparency is key.
Another platform that's really popular is Hugging Face. It's like a giant library of AI models and data sets. Anyone can use it.
Yeah, Hugging Face is great for beginners and experts. You can find pre-trained models or share your own work with others.
And there's always new stuff happening there. They just add in Pixtral Large, and there's this new model, Quinn 2.5 Turbo, that has a crazy long context length, like 1 million tokens.
1 million. What does that even mean?
It means it can handle a ton of text.
Yeah.
Like summarizing huge documents or writing really long stories. It's a big leap in how much information AI can process.
And Hugging Face is always adding new features. They just made it easier to look through chat histories, and now they show the carbon footprint of different models.
Yeah, that's important. We need to think about the environmental impact of all this AI stuff.
So Hugging Face is not just about the tech. They're thinking about the bigger picture. That's great to see.
Definitely. Okay, so one more thing before we wrap up. There's been a lot of talk about making AI more transparent, like understanding how it makes decisions. It's really important if we're going to trust it.
Yeah, it's like right now it's this black box. It gives you an answer, but you don't know how it got there.
And that can be a problem, especially for things like healthcare or finance, where decisions can have big consequences.
So we need tools that can help us understand how AI works, make it more accountable.
People have been talking about how hard it is to debug these models. Like Claude 3.5 and 3.6 sometimes make stuff up or make subtle mistakes that are hard to catch.
Make stuff up. That's a little scary.
Yeah, it's called hallucination. The AI just generates something that isn't true. And if you're relying on that info, it can be a big problem.
So it's not just about AI being right. It's about being consistent, knowing that we can trust what it says.
Exactly. And that's where explainability comes in. If we can understand how AI thinks, we can see if it's reliable and if it might have any biases.
And it's really important for these AI agents that are going to be working with people. If an AI is helping a doctor, the doctor needs to understand how it came to its conclusion.
Right. It's all about building trust. And that means finding ways to explain these complex AI concepts to everyone, not just the experts.
It's a big challenge, but people are working on it. We're seeing new tools that can make AI more transparent. That's definitely a good thing. Okay, so for this last part, let's look at some real-world examples of AI making a difference. Healthcare, education, sustainability, all that good stuff.
Yeah, there's some amazing projects out there really using AI to help people.
Let's start with healthcare. I saw a lot of discussion online about using AI to fix communication problems in healthcare. There's a lot of room for improvement there.
Yeah, it's a big problem. So there's this project, they're using AI to help doctors, nurses, everyone basically communicate better.
So making it so everyone's on the same page?
Right. Less errors, faster treatment, better results for patients.
It's crazy to think that AI can help save lives just by making communication smoother.
And then there's this tool, DocuMind. It uses AI to get information out of PDFs.
Oh, that's useful. PDFs are a pain to work with sometimes.
Tell me about it. But DocuMind makes it easy. You can get specific info out, no problem.
So a doctor could use it to get info from a patient's records? Or a researcher could use it for clinical trial data.
Exactly. And it's open source, so anyone can use it.
That's awesome. The more people who can use these tools, the better.
Okay, let's talk finance. There's this cool project using AI for backtesting.
Backtesting. What's that?
It's basically using AI to simulate how a trading strategy would have worked in the past, like a time machine for investments.
So you can see if your strategy would have made money without actually risking anything.
Exactly. It could really help people make better investment decisions.
It's like having an AI advisor helping you out.
Speaking of advisors, let's talk about education. There's some cool stuff happening there too, using AI to personalize learning.
I read about this teacher who was using Notebook LM to make their lessons more interesting. They were using AI to tailor the lessons to what the students were interested in.
Yeah, that's the key. Make it relevant, make it engaging, and students learn better.
It's amazing how AI can help make education more personal.
And there was this other example, using Notebook LM to make podcasts out of code.
Podcasts from code. How does that work?
You just give it some code, and the AI explains what the code does in a podcast format.
So it's like an AI coding tutor. That's really creative.
Right. AI is changing how we learn, making it more fun and accessible.
So as we wrap things up here, what have we learned about AI and its impact?
Well, I think it's clear that AI is here to stay. It's not just a sci-fi thing anymore. It's changing everything.
Yeah, from how we shop to how we get healthcare to how we learn, AI is everywhere.
And while there are definitely challenges, the potential for good is huge.
We've seen some really inspiring examples of AI solving problems, helping people, making things better.
And it's going to keep evolving. We need to keep exploring what AI can do, but also be careful, make sure we're using it the right way.
Absolutely. It's a responsibility we all share.
So to everyone listening, stay curious about AI, keep learning. Who knows, maybe you'll be the one changing the world with AI someday.
And that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening, everyone.